I think that the main thing about performing is that you are honest about what you do. If there's any pretense or um, not being true to yourself, I think an audience, no matter what piece you play, can pick up on whether you are in tune with what you're doing and you have a passion towards it. And it's that passion that I think is ineffable. It's just out there, and they'll pick up on that. Communication with the audience is very important, but I don't think it has to be feigned at all. In the past, I had done a lot of solo playing, and now it's maybe more chamber music and solo. I still love playing solo, but I also love playing chamber music, small chamber music. I'm not as much into the bigger orchestral, although I do enjoy playing extra in orchestra. But chamber music, again, you know, because it's all about relationships and communication. And as a soloist, I can still have that because I have the flexibility to interpret things the way I want them to be interpreted. But it's also fun to do this, for me, smaller chamber music. I love playing, for instance, with flute, because what you have to do is you have to discover different textures on your instrument in order to complement what the other musician is doing. And it's just so fascinating to me to find that extra, whatever it is, to change your tone color. And I find with percussionists, if I'm playing with percussionists, that it's very much this is the percussion and this is what we're going to do with it. But with a flute player or a violin player, cello player, I have to work a little harder to get the tone color that I want on the instrument. And that, to me, is a challenge, but also one of the greatest things about being a musician. He, she, wanna be free. Wanna be, he, she, wanna be free. Everybody talk about freedom, everybody talk about what you gonna do. Take away my internet, take away my Facebook, take away my Twitter, and we'll see what we can do, yeah. I've been teaching at the University of Toronto since 1996. And I think when I first started teaching, I didn't have a concept, really. I just kind of dove in and, you know, although I had been doing a bit of private teaching on the side. But as the years progress, I mean, that's a good 20 years ago, so I think I've developed a more systematic method for my teaching. And I found that teaching definitely complements my playing a lot. I feel I've become a little more concrete about ideas, about approaching like tone color on marimba, you know, about shaping a piece of music, and to verbalize that. Before it was all internal, and now I have to speak it. Otherwise I can't communicate with the students. Teaching is not just about the instrument and everything. You're dealing with students who are usually, you know, just out of high school and beyond, and there's a lot of stuff going on. It's not just about, it's about life. It's about, you know, discovery. It's about so many different things. So to kind of nurture that in the student, or to help them, it goes way beyond percussion and music in general. It's just about life. I have many mentors, percussionists, of course. My teacher, Russell Hardenberger, who, you know, I've known since we first met in 1976. And also just listening to great musicians on other instruments, for me, has fascinated me. And lately it's been those musicians who are not afraid of extending the boundaries. For me, an example these days, and she's very popular now, Canadian, Barbara Hannigan, soprano slash conductor slash theater person slash, I mean, she pretty much does it all, and I love that, because she's exercising both parts of her brain. Her brain's firing at 150%, and she gets out there, and it's awesome. I love that. I think being a musician, we need to have opportunities to express ourselves at the utmost capability that we can do it. So for me, she's a really great example of that. I think what I've found with commissioning composers is that there is, again, this communication that happens and this kind of intimate understanding of what each other does. The role of the composer and the role of the performer, and it's a collaboration. I don't feel like the job is done when the composer has finished the last note on the piece. It's only 50% there. I like to collaborate all the way through with the composer and I know that for me, I know what my limits are, and I have quite a few of them as a performer, but I know what my limits are and what I am capable of doing. My ultimate goal is to express myself. I feel I have to really use my imagination a lot when I'm commissioning a piece, because it is my imagination that gets me through to the end, and my sense of structure of the piece, understanding of the structure, because it's all about that kind of thread that runs through the piece, and I have to keep that thread going. So whatever it is in my mind that keeps that thread going is how I perceive will make the piece better somehow, or make me understand it so that I can communicate it with the audience. And I do believe in magic, divine, whatever, creativity or whatever it is, to get me through those moments where I think I've hit the wall and I don't know what to do. My objective is to have the music out there and for other people to play it. For instance, I just got an email message from a student who's studying in Illinois, and he's playing Michael Colgrass's piece Tutuma Papa, which I haven't played in many years, but and he was asking questions about this and that. So he's finding his way into that piece, and I've made suggestions, but I also say, hey, look, it's your piece too. Michael Colgrass, before I did the first performance, said to me, because I was frustrated during the dress rehearsal, I just didn't have enough time. He said, this is your piece now, enjoy yourself. It was like he was giving me a gift. This is your piece. And my shoulders dropped. I just felt so relaxed after that, and I could just be myself on stage, and that was one of the best gifts I ever got from a composer. What I wanted when I moved out to the country, I wanted a percussion studio where I could just bang away and not. I used to live in the city, and these houses where the eaves troughing was touching the other house. It was that close. So I managed. My neighbors were really nice when I was kind of banging away, but it's really nice to be out in the country and just kind of let it all hang out. It also was a compromise too with my husband, who's a composer, and he wanted to get out of the city. And he loves it in the country. I kind of like to go back and forth. We have a little condo downtown. We like to, so when I'm teaching at the University of Toronto, we can stay there. And so for me, I like the buzz of the city. I really do. But it's great to know that I can get out and I've got another place. I think love. family. I have a wonderful husband and stepdaughter, and just that for me is. I think my husband has helped me to open up a little bit. In my earlier years, I was just so gung-ho career, and because I don't know, it's just something that tunnel vision. Now I feel like I've kind of opened up a little more, because we have a social life and family, and we do the lamb on the spit. My husband is Greek, so it's this kind of thing, and it's really helped me to just kind of chill out a little bit more.